Hey guys, welcome back to the another interesting video. In this video, we are going to taking a look at how we can perform vulnerability scanning using tools like Metasploit Framework Console. And let's launch these. Before getting started into this video, you just need some prerequisites like I am here using two missions for scanning for vulnerabilities. If you want to perform the same on your computer, then you have to download and configure Metasploitable 2 and of course Metasploitable 3 missions. For this is for Windows and Metasploitable 2 is for Linux and Metasploitable 3 is for Windows. So you can just pretty much download this by going in the browser in your Windows. Here I'm just demonstrating in my browser in my Linux, but you just need to do the all these things that I'm demonstrating here in your browser in your Windows. Okay, so first thing is to download the Metasploitable 2. So you can just search for Metasploitable to download. You can just pretty much download this by entering this, and you can just go and download this from the SourceForge website, and this is how you basically download this. And you just need to configure it in the VirtualBox, and I do have video of configuring this in the VirtualBox, and you can just watch that video. And the second thing is to download the Metasploitable 3 for Windows related activities. You can just download Metasploitable 3 from somewhere around here. If it is not available in the SourceForge, and you can just download from here. If you can't download properly, or if you are facing issues with this download, then you can just pretty much download this from the Archer website. So we can just pretty much enroll like this, and from this Internet Archive you will be able to download the Metasploitable 3 mission on your computer. So these are the ways that you can download the Metasploitable 3 mission in your computer, and you just need to download this in your Windows mission, and after that you just need to configure this in the VirtualBox, and then you just need to start both of these missions. Once you are done starting both of these missions, then we can pretty much do. This is not like, let me click show all, and here you can see we unfortunately I could not find anything here, so you can, I think you can just download from here. So anyways, once you downloaded Metasploitable 3 and 2 and configured this in the VirtualBox, in your VirtualBox, you just need to start both of them. Once it's done, you can just pretty much get the IP of Metasploitable 2 and the 3 from here by entering the sudo arp scan -l command. And if your VirtualBox and the missions are in the bridge adapter in the network, you can see it. If all these missions are in the bridge adapter, then you will be able to see the IP address by entering the sudo arp scan -l command, and the MAC address starting with the 08 will be our target IP, and I think this is the IP of Metasploitable 2. When you enter nmap space IP, you can see this is basically the Metasploitable 2 IP, and you can just see there will be another MAC address with 08. This will be the Metasploitable 2. You can just confirm that by entering nmap and IP, and you can just confirm and verify that by checking for the ports that is open. So here you can see in the Metasploitable 2, it is FTP SSH telnet, which is in this order, which seems to be Metasploitable 2, and this is Metasploitable 3, which has some Windows activities. You can see that HTTP proxy, etc. FTP. So the least number of ports is open as compared to the Metasploitable 2, and this is how you basically identify. So before getting started directly into the Metasploit, I just need to configure the database for scanning for vulnerabilities. So let me stop this first. Let me clear the terminal, and the first command that I would recommend you to enter is to start the PostgreSQL database. So by entering PostgreSQL, by entering the command service PostgreSQL start, you can just enter service PostgreSQL start. You can just start the PostgreSQL. After that, you can just start the Metasploit framework console. So I'm just entering service PostgreSQL start and entering ampersand command, which will execute both of the commands in the same go. So you can just enter MSF console. Once you execute this command, what will happen? You just need to enter your password. So if you enter it correctly, it will first start the PostgreSQL database. After that, if it is PostgreSQL is started, then only it will start the MSF console. And here we are inside the MSF console. Now you can check that by entering db underscore status command. So which will pretty much check if you are connected to MSF. Once you see this message, then you are ready to go. It's done. You are done. You done this correctly. Okay, so we can see we are connected to MSF. Okay, you can also execute the help command, which will give you a lot of help commands that you can use inside the MSF console. So yeah, let's start with the db underscore nmap, which will be scanning using nmap tool, and we get the target IP before. Like we can start with the Windows Metasploit 3. So here I'm just starting db underscore nmap minus h will give you the help menu. Yeah, this is similar to what you are getting from the normal nmap command that you are using in your terminal. But here we are using it inside the MSF console, and the commands and the switches, everything seems to be same, but you have to specify db underscore nmap instead of just specifying nmap tool. Okay, so that's the only difference that you have now. So I'm just performing an aggressive scan on a verbose with the verbose of our target. So this was started, and you can see this is the tool name inside MSF console, and I'm just going to perform an aggressive scan with a little verbose, and this is my target IP, which seems to be my IP of my the Metasploitable 3. So you can also configure a workspace if you want, but here I'm just not going to configure a new workspace. I'm just starting with the workspace that I have, which seems to be the default workspace. So let it run. So basically, when you perform an aggressive scan or any types of scan, you can just pretty much get the results by pressing space or any button continuously will give you a results like this, showing that how much percentage it is completed. And by pressing here, you can see it's 83.33% done, 75% done, etc. You will get some information like this, which is available in the normal nmap command that you will use from here, and also it is also available in the db underscore nmap. It's exactly what you are getting from the normal nmap command, but we are using db underscore nmap. That's the only difference. Okay, it's performing an OS detection, and yeah, it's running, and it's 94.57% complete. So in the meantime, let's have a look on here in the nmap results. So I'm just starting a new new MSF console here for making this task faster. Yeah, oh, this scan was completed, and we were able to see lots of information. So yeah, this is the results that you are getting, and you can see it's running Microsoft FTPD, and pretty much informations that you will get. You do have comments like wall, which will give you once. I think it's once. It will give you, it finds any vulnerabilities, and unfortunately there is no vulnerabilities found. So I think you can just pretty much execute the minus minus script command for finding vulnerabilities. So I'm just performing the script scan for finding vulnerabilities, and this is getting to start inside the db underscore nmap. So it's 75% complete. So let it run. In the meantime, let's have a look. I just don't want to waste your valuable time. So yeah, so that's why let it run. So in the meantime, let's have a look onto the Metasploit framework console again in the another window. So I'm just starting the PostgreSQL service, like service, PostgreSQL, start, Amazon, MSF console, entering password. I'm just starting both of them. And now it's started. We can just confirm that by entering db underscore status, and it's connected. And you can also use the workspace command for creating your own workspace. Now we are under default workspace. You can just create a workspace called nmap or any other workspace name that you would like to provide. So once that's done, you can just pretty much see the workspace by entering workspace command. Now we are inside the nmap workspace. So whatever activities that you are doing will be saved under the nmap workspace. Okay, so that's something that you need to remember. So I just don't done this in the previous section, so I just missed that. So that's why I mentioned it here. Okay, I hope you understand about the workspace. Okay, you can also execute workspace by entering this. You can also execute workspace minus H for getting the help menu of this command. Yeah, this is how you can use minus A for adding a workspace, minus D for deleting, etc. Right? So yeah, this scan was going, and it's saying that hosts are all up, and it's saying that it's not vulnerable, and we can see it's about 99.46% done. And yeah, let it run. So in the meantime, let's have a look on here for our Linux target. So here I'm just performing a vulnerability scan on our Linux target. Here we can just change the workspace name for as Linux, which will be pretty much understandable. I'm just changing the workspace and adding as Linux. So now I am just listing the workspace, and you can see we are inside the Linux workspace. Now we can just perform db underscore nmap command minus minus script and one and service version and the target IP. So this is the command that I'm executing here for finding the vulnerabilities. So let it run. So in the meanwhile, let's have a look on here. So here in this one scan was not completed. Here inside here we are in the default workspace, but here we are not in the default workspace. We just created a workspace called nmap. We just created workspace called Linux. We are here in the Linux workspace. Okay, so yeah, it's still 75% is complete in our Linux workspace, which we are running the Metasploitable 2, which is a Linux-based operating system for checking for vulnerabilities. And yeah, you can see hosts are all up. It's not vulnerable, and it's working. And we are in the first tab. We do have Windows, and this scan was completed. And as you can see, we got some vulnerable outputs, like it's saying that vulnerable. So let's enter the once command. Now still we are not able to get some vulnerabilities as they are mentioned. So I'm just entering creds command, and I could not be able to get any creds credentials like a cracker passwords or something like that. So yeah, sometimes things don't work. So you can just enter host command, which will give you the host. We can see the command that we run here is 172, which is a Windows 2008 OS, and the command that we entered second in the second tab will also be displayed here, and which seems to be a Linux operating system. This is what we are getting. Now we can execute commands like services, which will give you the service related informations, and this seems to be the our Windows mission. As you can see, this is our host IP, and we can see our second IP here. You can see which is some starts from here, and this is what is showing there. So here what we are going to do is to perform a vulnerability scan using this MSF console tool. So here what I'm going to search is to search for Eternal Blue. So I'm just searching for Eternal Blue. So here I can see a lot of Eternal Blue modules available. So we do have exploit modules for exploitation, but we are not going to do that. But we are here searching for vulnerabilities using auxiliary modules, and this is the module that I'm going to use to check for vulnerabilities. So here what I'm going to do is to use that, and I'm just entering the options command, and I just need to set my R host, which seems to be my target host, and the Windows target host is 172. I'm just setting my R host to this, and once I set the target IP, now I'm just executing the run command, which will run the auxiliary module to check if this version of Windows is vulnerable to the Eternal Blue. And as you can see, auxiliary module execution complete, but unfortunately the connection was timed out, and maybe because of any kind of issues. Let me check here. I'm just login as administrator. So I just don't know the password. Maybe it will be Vagrant. Okay, I'm just going to disable the firewalls, and all the firewalls here are turned on. Let me execute this command like once more to see if it is working or not. If it's still not working, then I will disable the firewall. And as you can see, it's still not working, so let me disable the firewall. Sometimes some exploits will only be working when these kinds of firewalls are disabled. And as you can see, once we disable that, we were able to find that this host is likely vulnerable to MS17010, Windows Server 2008. And this is how you basically found the vulnerabilities using some auxiliary modules. You do have a plenty of auxiliary modules who are available for various purposes. Okay. And let this scan complete. It's 99.86% complete. And from the previous results, when we enter services, here you can see there's a lot of versions. We do have versions like VSFTP 2.3.4. If you get some versions like these, you can just pretty much search for that version here in the MSF console, and you will be able to get some modules for exploitation. Like that, you can just search for vulnerabilities here. And you can also see when I enter vulns, I can see now the vulnerability here, MSF's MS17010, SMB remote code detection, and some of the references. This is what I was able to get from here. And this auxiliary module was able to detect this vulnerability. So that's why it will be available in the vulnerabilities now. Okay, so this scan was still not completed. Our Linux script scanning was still not completed. And you do have a lot of auxiliary modules available. You can just search for the type auxiliary. And once you press enter, you do have as of now 1667 auxiliary modules available for various purposes. If you want specific, like if you want to check for FTP vulnerabilities, like you can specify name as FTP, and it will be sorted to 46. And these are the FTP related auxiliary modules available inside the Metasploit framework console. And you can also perform anonymous detection, etc. And some of the vulnerability scanning modules will be available here, so you can just use some auxiliary modules that helps you to find misconfigurations or vulnerabilities in the target. If you are targeting, if you suspect that your SMB configuration has some vulnerabilities, then you can just change this command as SMB, and you will be able to get the auxiliary modules that supports SMB, and you can use some of the modules to find to check if it is vulnerable or not. And yeah, this scan was seems to be nearly to complete, and it was able to detect a lot of vulnerabilities, and it's completed. Now I am just executing once command, and now we do have a plenty of vulnerabilities available. So after completion of our Linux Metasploitable 2, we do have plenty of information related to the vulnerabilities, and you can see it's having Pro FTPD 1.3.1, and a lot of CVs, a lot of references, and a lot of information was able to enumerate using this Metasploitable 2 after completing the scan. And this is how you basically find a lot of vulnerabilities. And as you can see, VSFTPD 2.3.4 was shown here, and once you perform the script scan here, you will be able to enumerate the vulnerabilities that is available in the target using MSF console. And you can just pretty much search for this version for checking for vulnerabilities inside MSF console and exploit that, and this is how you basically find vulnerabilities inside here. Once you execute the help command, you do get some of the commands that is helpful for you for to do various activities. CRUDs will list all credentials. If it gets any CRUDs credentials, it will be listed here. Unfortunately, we doesn't crack anything, so it will not be listed here. Once you crack anything, it will be displayed here. If it finds any credentials, then also it will be displayed here. And you do have a lot of commands that supports here. Ones for checking vulnerabilities, services list all services, nodes list all nodes in the database, and loot list all loot in the database. Like execute loot, and there is nothing available here. And like that, you do have a lot of informations that you can pretty much use those. You can also use dbm underscore import to import a scan result here, export to export a file containing the contents of database, etc. Once you perform a normal nmap scan, you can just pretty much import those results here in the MSF console. Let me show that also. Like I'm just performing a service version detection on our target, which seems to be 109. And here, basically, it will be, I'm just outputting this into a normal format, or I'm just outputting that into normal format called a file name called file. And now I'm here, I'm just inside the workspace Linux, so I'm just changing my workspace. I just want to move to the workspace, so I will go for workspace nmap. So now I'm inside the nmap workspace. Now when I enter commands like host, I was not able to see any host because all our activities will be inside the Linux, so that's why it's not available. When I enter services, it will be not here. So what we are going to do is I just performed a normal nmap scan outside the MSF console and saved into a normal format into a file called file. So this is the file name. So I'm just going to import that here using the db underscore import command, db underscore import, and the name of the file here is file. Once you can see it's could not automatically determine the file type, so I think I just need to perform this into XML format, and I'm just giving a new name, new. I'm just outputting the results into XML format to see if it does works or not. So this nmap scan was started. I'm just getting only the service version for this demonstration, and now we can see new was created, and it will be in the XML format. Let me get that, and this is how it looks like. So anyways, I'm just importing using the db underscore nmap db underscore import command, new, and it's done. When you output that into XML, then you will be able to import nmap XML. As you can see, successfully imported. Now you can just enter the comments like services, and as you can see, all the scan results will be imported into the MSF console, and you will be able to see the services. And you can just enter host command to see the host and the OS name and the other informations that is available in the scan results. So this is how you basically use these tools for finding vulnerabilities and importing these and a lot of things. So yeah, I hope this video will be informative for you and teaches you something new. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And thank you for watching this video. And I will see you with another amazing contents in the next video. Until then, subscribe and bye bye.